this morning, which is a very unfortunate call, really. And I'm going to get into it straight away. Let me just put this here so this will make it a little bit better. There we go, that's a bit better. So, full screen. Okay. So let's just bring this in so you can see it. So as you can probably see, this is the this guy here is the Interior Minister for France, and he has this morning put a press release out. They have put a ban on 10 of us from entering France. What this means in practice, speaking to let's see what the letter actually says first, because we've obviously translated the letter. It says press release for the 14th of January 2026, press release. 10 administrative territorial bans imposed against British activists from Raise the Colour movement. The attention of the services of the Minister of the Interior has been repeatedly drawn, and by various parties, to the presence of far-right activists, you mean concerned fathers, belonging to Raise the Colours movement, who were engaging in particular actions to search for and destroy small boats. Let's just stop it there. Yes, that's exactly why. Can you make sure that the signal is okay? Good. As well as propaganda activists along the French northern coastline in the Calais region. These actions were aimed at the British public, calling on them to strengthen the ranks of the movement in order to put an end to the migration phenomena. If you want to go out there, just make sure you can hear this. The Minister of Interior informed of these facts in December 2025, referred the matter to the competent services under the authority in order to identify the individuals involved and consider the extractive measures. As the actions are carried out, they were likely to cause serious disruptions to public order, stopping the invasion of our country by third world men that are raping and pillaging our women and children. Okay, all right. Yesterday, Tuesday, the 13th of January, 10 territorial bans measures were pronounced against 10 British nationals identified as activists within the movement and who had carried out actions on French territory. As a result, their entry into and to stay in France is now totally and utterly forbidden. The Minister of Interior commends the effective and determined actions of the Horn de France region, perfect of the Nord Department, as well as services of the ministry. It's frog language translated, so it doesn't really make much sense. For guarantee public order, preventing actions of a violent nature, actions against hatred and discrimination. The Minister of the Interior also pays tribute to the daily commitment and demanding work of the security services along the coastline of Calais, carried out under difficult circumstances. What a load of nonsense. So what's happened is here, because we were getting very, very close to proving that the NGO, this is all NGO led. We've been given information, we've seen the NGOs have taken 6-7 page documents with all our pictures in it, making out with this, making out with that, taking it to the prosecutors, tried to get them to get us. And with the official launch of Operation Overlord in London a few days ago, they've now taken these measures. So what does this mean in practice? It means in practice, if we attempt to enter France via Dover or via any other route, we will be prevented from and turned away at the border. Doesn't always mean you can't pop into Belgium or Holland or something, but there we go. What would likely happen? So I've got a contact who has extensive knowledge of French prosecutions, French prosecutors, the police. I said this morning, my first question was, what happens if I get caught in France? And her answer was, you'll likely be detained, and you'll likely be detained for a few days, and you'll likely be put into a jail with probably migrants and everything else. I said, she told me to be careful. I said, look, this is a long-term goal to safeguard our nation from an invasion over in France. This, if they think this is going to then suddenly put a complete stop to it, you're crazy. If you think that because you ban 10 of us, thousands won't come. So I think it's time the English showed their hand. I think we now change our strategy a little bit. I think it's time the English and the British men, I think it's time we show them what time it is. I think it's time we show them how powerful we are. Everything within the law. I think it's time we show them what we mean business. What I mean by that is nothing violent. I think we now need to gather, and I think we need now a shock factor. We need a shock factor moment for these frog bastards. And I'm not talking about the French people because they're dealing with this as much as we are. I'm talking about I'm talking directly to you, you frog bastard that thinks that they're going to ban people, is going to stop this from happening. Let me be absolutely clear. If it wasn't for us and the Americans in the 1940s, you'd be speaking German and you wouldn't have had your country back. You're now allowing an invasion of third world men into our country. And if you think that a little post on X is going to deter us, we're now more than ever going to do what's necessary to get this done. It just now means that at this point in time, we may legally need to fight this. We need legally may be able to fight this to get this ban removed. We have not committed any crimes. We have not committed any offences. Or we would have been arrested. We were stopped on every occasion by all different police forces, be it from the, like I keep saying, be it from the military to police, the local to police, for the national to police, the maritime police. We've been stopped on every level, and not once have we been ever more than questioned, because we haven't done anything illegal, and we'll continue to do that. But I do think it's now time for the English to show a hand and the British to show their hand. You know, we're becoming very comfortable. I keep saying this, and I mean it. I've said it for years. We get very comfortable sitting behind our screens, all having an opinion and all, you know, doing this. And I'm not calling for a protest. That's the last thing I'm calling for. But I think it's time that we showed our anger, and be it either at the Dover or be it at on the French side. So I'm now going to put some things into place. I'm now going to arrange for some sort of response to this, an English-British response, a hard response for them to see how angry we really are. I'm not calling upon anyone to commit any violence. I'm not asking anyone to be arrested. And I'm definitely not enticing anyone into a riot of any sort. But something needs to give. We cannot just continue down this route without showing our hand. It is my opinion was that we needed to get British and English boots on the ground in France and to patrol those coastlines and to do what we did and to maintain a strong footing on those beaches, to understand the towns, the migrant camps, not letting them get off the beaches. But I don't feel comfortable without me being there to send people there, because I don't think it would work. They don't know what to do. So we're going to have to rethink this for them, because we can't now just wait a couple of months for this to hopefully, you know, legally be dealt with. We need to do something now. We need to respond right now. The English, the British need to respond right now to these French bastards. Yeah. You have allowed hundreds of thousands of fighting age men to enter our country, rape our women, sexually assault our children. implement yourselves in our communities, take the housing that is for English and British people. And the French have allowed this. The NGOs work alongside the French. This, everything that we're seeing here, this interior minister, all of this is NGO-led, sitting with the French authorities saying, the cash cow for the NGOs. Do you know how much money the NGOs are getting? You know, when we look at charities in the UK, you look at charities in the UK. Let me get rid of this a second. So when you look at charities in the UK, there's a website that you can go on and you can actually find out how much money actually goes to the front line. I did it years ago. My dad, we were part of a church and they were selling stuff, trying to make money for the church. Great. It'll make sense why I'm telling you this in a sec. And we looked into their accounts. My dad analysed their accounts and worked out that 5% of the money generated by that charity was actually going to the front line. The rest of it was being paid to the directors, to the, predominantly the biggest bill was going to them. They were getting the most money. They were having 3 holidays a year. They were enjoying their lives, pretending to have a Christian charity. Well, the NGOs are playing the same game. Utopia 56 are playing the same game. You look at Utopia 56's accounts. It's incredible the amount of money that they have had. And it's also incredible to see British companies and British people funding these NGO companies and to see the amount of money that they're paying themselves. No wonder they're getting iPhones. No wonder they're getting new iPhones. No wonder they're, the amount of money that actually goes to this front line, they're trying to just get rid of some of it because they're paying themselves so much, the NGOs. They're paying themselves so much of a wage. It's a cash cow. You think they really care about migrants? If the migrant pandemic, if it stopped, then money stops. If the migrants don't come, the money doesn't come. The money the only way the money comes into the NGOs is if the boats still come. So that's that side of it. Then the French authorities, 800 million they're getting from us, and they're doing absolutely nothing to stop the boats. They're working alongside the NGOs to put in legal basis, legal scripture. We've seen it all. I've seen all the legal scripture, my picture on it, and Ryan's pictures, and they're all legal basis. And they're sending it to the French authorities and saying, right, get these guys to stop. We need these guys to stop. They're actually starting to disrupt what it is that we're doing here, which is making some money. Now let's go to the English side. The English side, the companies who get the contracts for the migrants. How much money do you think is involved in that? How much money is involved in that? The HMOs, the big corporations, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, everyone's making money. Anything in life that doesn't seem right, anything that seems a bit off, it seems a bit like, hold on a minute, they could sort that out quite quickly. The reason they don't is 99.9% of the time is because it's a money motivated. The NGOs, those at the top of Utopia 56, are making significant amounts of money, and they can't have that cash cow stop. And I believe they're working in cahoots with the suppliers of the boats. I think it's all interconnected. We were getting very close. We were getting too close. Listen, the interior minister in France does not get involved unless you're getting close. Yeah, they don't unless you're getting close to something. Why would one of the highest ministers in the French government is talking specifically about us? And the only reason that's happened, not because, if it was because of the violence, they're going to think they're going to commit violence, well, the police would deal with us when we commit violence, which we don't. So that's why. So they think we need to stop this. So on the other side of it is now what response will need to be given? Well, I think a very strong response. They're taking us for idiots. The French and the British government think they can just walk all over us, call us far right, call us this, call us that, and that's it. They've been labelled. That's it now. No. I am from today going to be talking to as many people as I can, and I'm talking political parties, be it from the middle right, bit further right, whatever. Everyone needs to get involved. We need a proper English British response to this. They are taking us for idiots. And I'm not going to sit back and just let that happen. They're banning me from France. You want to ban me from France? You don't want to ban migrants crossing the English Channel and putting the strains on English communities, but you want to ban me? Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see how that turns out for them. So that's the news. They've publicly done a press release. Apparently, we are now banned from France. If we go to the border, we'll be told we're not allowed to enter France. If we were to go in a different route, I asked the question, what would happen to us? We'd probably be put into a jail in France, probably with migrants, and we'd probably have to fight our way out of there. So it's going to be, they're doing this because they know how close we are to what needs to be done, and that doesn't stop any of this. Just because I can't go to France does not mean, this means nothing. It just means that we need to really prepare people that are willing to go to France and make sure they understand how to get things done the way that we did. That's it. That's it. Unfortunately for me, I've recently become a single father to 3 children, so I have to be very careful. I have to think of my children. I have them full time now, so I have to be very careful on what I do, because I can't be in a jail cell in a different country. That wouldn't be good for my children. So that's just a reality and the truth of it. So, but that does not prevent any of this. This is just a way of now understanding that this is where we're at. The French government are now involved in preventing British nationals from basically documenting what's happening in northern France, because it's all a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. It's a total conspiracy from top to bottom. Everyone's involved. Everyone's getting their money's worth. And now the French Interior Minister. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, there's a couple of reports. Let me see what else I can give to you here. There's no one here. Let me get rid of that. There was this one. So this is what they're basically. Let's just go on that. So yeah, so France bans 10. I mean, the 10 lads. Who are the 10 lads? Clearly, the lads that we've all been with. Is the colours. We are where we are, and we do what we do. And if anyone thinks that this is going to stop us, this has made me more angry than ever. Yeah. Think of this extent and the length that these people have gone to prevent us from entering their country, but yet we'll do nothing to stop third world men entering our country. The cheek of it, the absolute cheek of it, the cheek of it. So now there'll be a response. Now there's going to be a patriotic English-British response, and anyone that wants to get involved in that response, please make it known. It is now time the English and the British responded to the French. I don't know exactly what that looks like. I'm going to use the next couple of days to make sure it looks the way it needs to look. I'm going to speak to whoever I need to speak to, but it is now time for a British and English response to these frog bastards that think they can. Why don't they? Imagine the headline. Imagine the headline. UK bans migrants from crossing the Channel. That's the headline we want to see. That's the headline that we deserve. That's the headline that changes the fabric of what we're seeing at the moment. That's the headline that saves our women and children from what we're seeing. Even in the last couple of days, I've had women telling me they do not want to walk their dog at night. They live in towns. They don't live in cities. They live in towns. They're scared because there's a migrant hotel up the road. Army barracks, 750 migrant men that have recently come back from Sudan who have been caught with AK-47s. I mean, are you taking a mick? They want to ban France, wants to ban us, but then they won't ban the migrants. It's insanity, and a response needs to be had. I understand with people going to France. I know that Ryan and the team are doing huge amount of work behind the scene, and Ryan is doing everything he can to get things set up for the Patriots to go to France. My I'm now going to leave that with him. I'm going to let him continue to do that with all the paperwork and everything that he needs to be done. I'm now going to put together an English and British response to this. It's now time that we showed our hand. It's now time that they realised that we are the grandsons of those men who stormed those beaches in 1945 and did what was necessary to protect our women. And the fact that they've put so much emphasis on making sure that everyone knows that they've banned us, that they won't ban the migrants. A English British response is coming, you French frog bastards, okay? And I hope many of you will be involved with me at that. And this is not going to be a violent thing. This is not going to be a riot. We're going to show, I think it's time. And I think Dover's the place. I think Dover needs to come to a standstill. That's what I think. I think we need to show them on our side what time it is with a message to the French. But yeah, let's work it out. It's a group decision. I'm going to put it out there. What do you think we should do? I think we take Dover. I think we put a response. You want to ban me? Okay.